Oh my goodness, it's 2:45. I have to be somewhere at 4:30. How much time do I have to get ready? Well, now that I'm awake, I might as well teach you guys about elapsed time. So all elapsed time is this definition right down here. It's time that passes between a start time and an end time. I need you to write that down in your notes because it's very, very important. And so we're going to work on elapsed time. Now, as I said in the program, Mr. B, I've overslept. I woke up at 2:45 and I need to be somewhere at 4:30. How much time do I have to get ready? Now, I know a strategy that I can use using a timeline. So when I draw a timeline, what I do is I draw what kind of looks like a capital I on its side, and I put 2:45 at the beginning. And then I put 4:30 at the end, because my start time is 2:45 and 4:30 is my end time. So I put my start at the start of my timeline and I put my end at the end of my timeline. Now what I'm going to go back and do is I'm going to add in some extra lines. So after 2:45 here, what's the next whole hour? So I don't mean add an hour to 2:45, I just mean the next whole hour. So right after 2:45 would be 3 o'clock. Then after 3 o'clock would be 4 o'clock. And I can't add 5 o'clock because 5 o'clock comes after 4:30. Now what I need to do is go back and I need to do some what I call jumps here. So jumping from 2:45 to 3 o'clock, how long would that take me? Well, I know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, and a whole hour is 60 minutes. So 2:45, 2:50, 2:55, 60. I jumped, count by 5, 3 times, so that would be 15 minutes. From 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock is 1 whole hour. So I write 1:00. And from 4 o'clock to 4:30, that's normally the easiest one. It's 4:30, or it's 30 minutes because it's 4 to 4:30. Now my final step is I just need to add it up. What I personally do, I add up the minutes first. So 30 plus 15, that gives me 45. Then I'll add in my hour. So I have 1 hour and 45 minutes to get ready. So I'm going to give you a little tip here on how to figure out the minutes. So occasionally, stuff like 45 and 30 are pretty easy because, you know, it's half an hour or it's 15 minutes. Occasionally, you'll get to something like what I have here is 4:25. And I need to know how many minutes it is until 5 o'clock. A little tip that a student taught me a couple years ago is take it from 60, because 60 is like the next whole hour. So 60 minus 25 is 35 minutes. Another thing you can do is you can draw yourself a little clock. So we got 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We know that the 25 is right here. And now I'll just count by 5s until I get to the next whole hour. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Either way, you're going to arrive at 35 minutes. Do whatever's best for you. And you noticed in my clock, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. I drew a circle with a couple of lines around it. You don't need to go nice and detailed, like this is the 12, this is the 1, the 2, the 3. You don't need to do that. You can if you want to, but that's just taking up time. So you have 2 different strategies for figuring out the minutes if you can't quickly do it in your head. And most likely there will always be a clock for you to look at in whatever room you're working in. But it's good to have some other strategies. So now I'm thinking, my event starts at 4:30, and if I stay until 8:10, how long will I be there? See if you can apply the timeline method and solve this. Alright, so let's work through this together. Now I know my event started at 4:30 and it ended at 8:10. So I'll draw my timeline, again kind of like a capital I on the side. 4:30 is being the start time, so I'll put that at the start of my timeline, and 8:10 being the end of my timeline, so I'll put that at the end. Now, what's the next whole hour after 4:30? Well, it's not 5:30, because that would be adding a whole hour. I just want the next whole hour, so that would be 5 o'clock. And then after that would be 6 o'clock. And then after that would be 7 o'clock. Then after that would be 8 o'clock. And I can't do 9 o'clock because 9 o'clock comes after 8:10. Now let's go back and let's do some jumps. From 4:30 to 5, that's half an hour. And half an hour is 30 minutes. Now we have a bunch of jumps on my hour. So I have 1, 2, 3. 3 hours. And then from 8 to 8:10, that's the simple one. That's 10 minutes. So now, like I said, I like to add up my minutes first. 30 minutes plus 10 minutes will give me 40. And then I add that to my 3 hours. So that gives me 3 hours and 40 minutes at my event. Alright, time for your bring back to school problem. So I get home from my event and I go to sleep at 8:50. But then around 2:25 I need to wake up for a drink of water. How long would I have slept for? Solve that, bring it back to school, and I'll see you in the morning.